Hello, welcome to the channel. My name's Pete. This is what remains, and today we're going to see what remains of Grandad Lesleys' abandoned house. If you like this sort of thing, subscribe to the channel because there's lots of it, amongst other things. I'll turn the camera around and we'll see if we've got a way in. So we've come down through that gateway down the path, and then we're going to go down here. You can see the front door's been boarded up, so there might not be any access, but we will find out. Let's have a quick look at the front of the building before we go anywhere, or before we even get in. Look at that. How lovely is that? Okay, so I'm with Jane from Jane's Jaunts. So please go look at her Facebook channel if that's okay, and subscribe to that. Up, looks like we've got a way through to the back through there. We've got a little wishing well here, look, and a lovely outside garden lamp. So we'll go through there and we'll start filming on the other side. So that bottom door was open to access the property, and in here we've got his outshed, some tools and a lawnmower. Old spirit level there, it's a bit warped. And then what we'll do is I'll walk you down the garden and we'll try and find our way in. You can see it's quite beautiful around here. Look at these, and there's the house up there. Here we go. Oh, there looks to be some cars through there, so I'll have a look at that in a moment. Look at this. And we've got some mattresses through there, and I think that's our way in, so we'll go there in a moment. Let's go back and have a look at the cars. Oh my word, BMW. What is going on here? Look at these. It's 3 BMWs, is that what's going on? Gosh, one. Oh no, what's this? A Celica? Yeah? What's that? A 3.2 series and J plate. This has got to be a Celica. This is a rare car, this one, and valuable. Twin cam on the steering wheel. And a Mercedes. Yeah, Toyota Celica 2 litre GT, that's the one you want. Thousands of pounds worth of car there. 10 grand in that condition. And then we've got this old Mercedes here too. Look at this. Compressor CLK, just incredible. Let's go to try and get in the house. So we've managed to get into the house. This is known as Grandad Lesleys' house. I'll turn the camera around, I'll show you what I can see. I've got Jane with me from Jane's Jaunts, as I've already mentioned, so you might see her in the background. Never go to these places alone. So that was our way in there through that door. Now we always need to be respectful, but we can see we're straight into what is, or has been turned into, a downstairs bedroom, but I don't think it was that. I think it was a dining room. We've got some cupboards in here. Down there, I'll put a torch on so you can see a bit better. In there, lots of fleecular in there, look. Or an old clock. Stuff on the mantelpiece, and these huge mirrors. Now over his bed we've got the records, the Beatles, got his night lamp, which is not really a night lamp, it's like a desk lamp, isn't it? We do have these low lamps as though it could have been a bedroom, because this is a bungalow but the upstairs has been converted. There are some wonderful objects in this house and we need to be respectful. So if we have a look around here, That's a cabinet and a mirror. And some stuff through there. We've got a foot poof down there. Carpeted throughout. Underneath here, we've got this magnificent plate. Look at that. Representation of a farmhouse kitchen, perhaps. A wall plate. And I'll just pop you down there. Show you some more wall hanging plates down there as well. Now we'll go this way because it's done out quite elegantly. Look up here, look up at the ceiling, and what we have is the lights, everything matches, all the shades. We can go through this way, this little corridor. Wood panelling throughout the house and brass finishings with a brass cane with a brass top. And we have a lot of painting throughout the house as well. This is quite a famous painting, this one, with the dog and the little girl. This, I think, was some kind of closet, but it's full of old work tools now. And if we look this way, this was clearly a dressing room with his things still hung up in there, and it looks like the burglars have been in and got all his Seiko watches, unfortunately. And then we've got a dressing table there. We'll go back through this way. As you can see, this is what his bedroom was, and then this is entering the main part of the building too. And we'll go around to the right and we'll see a downstairs toilet. It has been removed and the plumbing's even gone. It's even bricked up in the back there, so that's been converted at some point for some other reason. But we've got this lovely leaded window here, and we've got the stained glass. I'll stand back and show you that. There. I'm trying not to kill myself as I trip over everything. This takes me directly into the toilet, the actual bathroom. Again, he seemed to like all his darker colours, reds, royal blues, a lot of velvet curtains throughout, tiled mirrors there. I've got a coat of arms here, I don't know what that represents. And we've got this lamp here. We're now going through, you can see we've got the regal royal red carpet and a lot of wood throughout. And we'll go up that twisty staircase shortly, but first of all we need to go through to the kitchen. The kitchen is quite marvellous. We've got all this stuff here. And we've got loads of bottles of wine, look. This expired in 2017, some of these bottles. Unopened, untouched. We can tell that Leslie was quite an unwell man. He's got IV medications here, lots of antibiotics, asthma or COPD type medications. Sildenafil, if you know what that one's for, I do. Pain relief. Blood pressure tablets. More sildenafil, it's like a collection. Antibiotics, chlorphenamine, more antibiotics, Cipro, all sorts of medications in there. Nice lump hammer. I don't want to start rummaging around in boxes because we don't know what's in the bags. So I'll take you around. I'm not opening any fridges or anything like that. I've learnt my lesson. We've got this sink, and then even in his cupboards, his belongings are still here. I don't know what happened to Leslie, but me and Jen are very conscious that this was his home. So we're going to be respectful while we're looking at everything. And then we've got a drinks cabinet here. Some nice glasses there. Various kinds of alcohol. And wines. And then the bottom of the staircase here. and that'll be his little serving counter. Quite nice, really. Got an old 10p there. And before we leave this area, I'll show you up to the lamp here, which is really quite ornate. It's got all the Greek stuff on there, look. You see that? Oh. Beautiful. And randomly a giant hook there as well. I don't know why that's there. And we've got an archway through into what was the entrance hall. That's the main front door there. But in here we've got these 1920s style lamps, matching pair. We've got the wooden ornate carvings and a big old grandfather clock in the corner. Almost getting to 7 o'clock. We're at 20 to 7 there. We've got a Yamaha keyboard. This must use floppy disks, look, with 3 1/4 inch discs there. And then we've got his old camera, more representation of his clocks and fascination of time, perhaps. Got this lovely cabinet here too, and a fireplace, and then that'll take us through into his lounge. Again, there's his furniture here. There are some ashes over there of 2 pets. I'm not going to get any closer than that on camera for you. You don't need to see those. And here we've got more clocks. I've got a barometer as well. A couple of barometers, pictures. A Ferguson TV, do you remember them? And then he's got that TV on the top. But there's just stuff everywhere. Beautiful paintings, look. And then in here we've got his cabinet of stuff. We don't want to go over towards the sofa because that's where the ashes of his animals are. Exercise bike to try and keep fit. He did have high blood pressure, so maybe he was trying to do something to manage that. But again, let's just have a look here at this cabinet. Look at these glasses. Some of these are just so ornate. The same with the tea service. Fine bone china. And if we look behind me, we've got another cabinet here. And then we've got 2 great Grandad, happy birthday, lots of love from Hallie Ray. Just to remind us that this was somebody's loving home. And in the cabinet there, some pottery ready to use. Got his knives and forks here, best silver. And tureen down the bottom with the best tea service. And we've got this wonderful lamp. I absolutely love this. Is it a genuine one? Can anyone tell me? Lots of money if it is. And then we've got this tall floor lamp, candelabras, and on the table we've got a few little bits and bobs. So that's the downstairs in Grandad Leslie's house. I'm going to take you upstairs next. It was a bungalow, so the upstairs has been converted, and we'll go up and have a look. I'm now at the bottom of the stairs. If you are enjoying this video, please consider subscribing and joining our small community. Let's go upstairs and have a look. Just so you've got your bearings, that was our way in. Jane is stood at the entrance to the kitchen, Jane's Johns. That way was to the front door, and this way is up our stairs. There's lots of rubbish over these stairs on the way up, and you can see it's all done out probably to the highest standard, to be quite honest with you. Look at this stained glass borrowed light here. That'll be coming through from the kitchen. We've got the radiators, and I can stand up here because we're in the middle of the pitch, and there's the pitch, which we will go in there in one moment. No, we'll go in there now. This, I would assume, is like a master bedroom upstairs. And we've got a loft hatch there. There's nothing in there except an old chair and a few carpets and carpet lats, but nothing spectacular in there. Now I need to be careful because I can only stand up. There's your hip joints. I can only stand up in the middle of the pitch. We've got these walk-in wardrobe here. There's not a lot in there. And we've had this dormer window put in. What we'll do now is we'll go through to this room here. Again, you can see the wall lamps. I'm too tall for this room at this point here, so I have to crouch down, and I'm 6 foot. Lots of painting's been taken off the wall. Just all in there. Got a microphone down there. And more camera equipment, camcorder equipment. Got Polaroid. Plane, his old work tools. Carving set, look at that. Look at this old telephone. And then we've got that there as well. There's a hatch there, but there's nothing in there. Coat of arms there, a couple of swords. Probably more than likely ornamental. And then got furniture and things just up here. Just storage really, I presume. I don't know what that is. Is it a microfiche reader? And then we've got this audio in output. I don't really know what that is. Sanyo. And Ferguson record player. Look at the old first aid kit. Nothing in it, but it's amazing. We've got a Vista and Rossmann sewing machine. We don't often see those. And then just more furniture really. There's nothing in any of this stuff. And that's the view out of his dormer window at this side. Absolutely fascinating to look around. I hope you've enjoyed this episode looking around Grandad Lesley's house. Again, super respectful. We take nothing but photographs and leave nothing but footprints. If you have enjoyed the episode, please consider hitting the link below to buy me a coffee. It's much appreciated. Quite a few already have done, and I thank you so much for doing that. It's a bit overwhelming at times with how many coffees some people buy, but I appreciate every moment of it and everyone that's bought, because it does go towards the fuel and new camera equipment for the channel. Please consider subscribing to the channel. That's the #1 thing that you can do for me. In the meantime, please take care, and I will see you in the next one.